Well, as car prices increase along with demand, leasing a vehicle has become a popular alternative to buying. But with interest rates on the rise, what is your best option? Joining us this morning with some advice is Peter Shecky with Everything Financial. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
This is a bit of a conundrum for a lot of people because they both have their benefits. So what is your first impression, leasing versus buying?
Well, this isn't really a financial answer, but it's more of an emotional answer. If you like to change your car every 3 or 4 years, you're really renting your car then anyway. So a lot of the tax advantages go out the window. And leasing then is sometimes better because you're just basically paying rent every month. Trade the car in 3 or 4 years when your lease is up and get a new one if you like that new car smell every couple of years.
I know it's kind of a difficult time because there's not a lot of inventory right now, so it's hard for people to get the car that they may want. But when it comes to leasing versus buying, financing, leasing, in the end, you might have a vehicle, if you buy it, that would have depreciated in value. But if you're leasing, at least you do get that new car. So financially, what is the better idea?
You do, but what we're telling people nowadays, because it takes so long, if you're going to get a new car and you're just not sure, should I buy it? Should I lease it? It really doesn't matter yet. Get the order in, put your deposit down, and get the car started and get it ordered, because it may take you, well, 3 months would be really optimistic, but 6 months to a year to get the car, and then see what the financial situation is then. Interest rates may go down, they may go up, there may be a lease deal from the manufacturer that's a really good finance deal. You don't know, maybe your job changes and suddenly where leasing was a good financial and tax option, maybe it isn't in a year from now. So at least get the car on order, because right now that could take you a long time just to get the car.
So generally speaking, though, if someone is leasing a vehicle, does it make more sense to do that and then maybe buy the car out, or to actually just buy it outright in the first place?
It depends, but a lot of times you'll look, and a lot of times it makes sense just to buy it out. Because remember, with a lease, unless you're getting that full tax deduction because of you're self-employed or you're a commission employee where you're required to provide a car for yourself and you get tax deductions, buying still is cheaper because it's kind of like the home. Are you better off to rent the home? Is that better in the end? Or are you better off just to buy the home? And the car is not much different. Renting, which is leasing, always costs more money in the end.
Ah, good point. Okay, you talked about the tax benefits of leasing over buying. So who would likely want to lease in that situation?
Self-employed people, people on the road for business who are commission salespeople who have a road type sales job where they have to provide their car, they have to provide their cell phone, and they're able to write those items off. They're able to write off the payment of the lease, the gas, etc., versus buying where you're just getting a capital depreciation. Technical stuff this early in the morning, but it's a very small write-off compared to the lease. And so if you're getting a full deduction, also you might put a lot of mileage on the car, so you really do need to change it in 3 or 4 years because you do so much driving for your job. Tax-wise, that's a better deal. And go over that with your accountant, your registered financial planner. See what the tax advantages are before you make that deal. Look at all the factors and then go, you know what, after tax, the car's really not costing me that much. A lease is better at that point.
Maybe you just have to dive into the calculations. You know, this is what's going to cost to buy the vehicle. This is what's going to be to lease. And to get someone who knows those numbers and to calculate that for you.
Yeah, and always look at what is it after tax? What is the real cost at the end? Not just what am I paying this month, but what's the whole price at the end of the day? And then go with what's the best deal for you.
Peter Shecky with Everything Financial. Car salesman now.
Oh, geez. Thanks, Gary.
In addition to financial planner. Thanks very much for that, Peter.
Thank you.
Good advice. Okay.